You're a podcast listener, and this is a podcast ad. Reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Lips and Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a reproduced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience with Lips and Ads. Go to lipsandads.com now. That's LIBSYN ads.com.
If you enjoy this podcast, it would mean so much to us if you'd be willing to take 30 seconds to do these tiny things.
First, can you please follow or subscribe to Self Care Club?
Following the pod helps you because you'll never miss an episode, and it helps us because you'll never miss an episode.
So to do this, just go to the Self Care Club show page on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and then just tap the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner or click on follow.
This is the most important thing for the pod, and while you're there, if you'd be willing to give us a 5-star review, we would be so grateful.
Did we decide that you're starting now?
Hello, I'm Lauren Mishkon.
And I'm Nicole Goodman. Do you not like starting now?
I feel weird about it now.
Why?
It just feels unnatural.
I think years ago, you used to start.
I did.
So when did it change?
I don't know. When did it change?
When you start. When did things change? When?
I can't.
And what else has changed that we haven't noticed?
I can't pinpoint the moment. All I know is that now you just go first.
Well, I didn't, because you went first. You were just sat there looking at me, waiting for me to say anything. And I thought, no, I'm not going to break. And then I did.
Well, it was weird, but here we are, back in Friday's weekly wellness show, bringing the happenings of the self-care world.
Yeah. Is there any happenings in the self-care world?
Totes.
Like what?
Saunas.
Go on.
Hanging.
Saunas is not new in the wellness world.
No, it's not new in the wellness world, but the way that saunas are being brought to the people is new.
Go on. I love a sauna.
There is a new festival in Hackney called the Saunaverse, UK's first sauna festival. This is when I say it's happening. It's having its moment. It's in the zeitgeist. It's the Taylor Swift of the wellness world saunaing right now.
Wow.
Yup. There are all sorts of saunas.
But what happens?
At Saunaverse.
When is Saunaverse? And I think we should go.
It's happened. I'm sorry to tell you. It's just happened already. We missed it.
That's not very helpful, is it?
I know.
What did happen, apart from everyone being in a sauna?
Fragrant wood-fired versions, high-tech electric ones. It was sold out. There weren't even any tickets.
Weren't they just selling saunas? Is that what they were doing?
They were experiencing it.
No, but I'm sure there were a lot of companies there trying to sell home saunas.
I'm sure there must have been. But the British Sauna Society, did you even know there was such a thing?
I did. I am a member.
Are you? No, you're not. That's a lie. You're not a member of the British Sauna Society.
I might be.
You're not. Because if you were, I would know.
But you are doubting it. Would you bet your life on it?
Yeah, I think I would.
You'd bet your life on it. Would you bet your kids' life on it?
No, I wouldn't bet their lives on anything.
But you'd bet your life on the fact that I am not a member of the Sauna Society.
If I rifled through your wallet right now, I would not find a card saying member of the British Sauna Society.
But to be honest, you wouldn't find the card anyway because I would have lost it.
You would have lost it. And also you'd have some online subscription thing, so there wouldn't be a card.
You're so funny. Whatever you do, it's a dated reference. Whatever happens, it's like you always have to go to something that no longer exists.
I still have a library card. I'm not joking.
But when do you use it?
Well, I haven't used it since the children were about 2.
But why don't you throw it away? Now, I'm surprised you are hoarding that library card. I am very surprised. And I'll be honest, a bit disappointed. Because that means you have not cleaned out your wallet. And that is not like you, my friend.
I have. I keep it in there. But I have a terrible feeling that if I went back to my local library now, there's probably some online system. You don't even need your library card anymore.
I wouldn't say probably.
Definitely?
I would say, yeah.
Okay. Well,
to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm also a member of the Library Society.
Shut up.
And it's all now online. No,
Okay,
I don't
great.
know. I also haven't been to the library since my kids were really young. And I needed to do something with them in the summer
Yeah, and like
holidays.
story time was great at the library and it was free. Anyway, the British Sauna Society has been deluged with inquiries from people wanting to set up their own sauna, and their membership has doubled in the past year. So good luck.
From 2 to 4.
Saunas should be inclusive, democratic, health and wellbeing hubs, says the president, Mika Meskanen. Such a president of the Sauna Society name, isn't it?
It's very Scandinavian.
In Finland, he says, there are about 3 million saunas for a population of 5.5 million.
Yeah, because it's
Everyone's
a
a sauna goer.
huge part of their culture. And I think most people would have a sauna in their home, wouldn't they?
It's completely normal. It's
Yeah.
just the most standard thing to do. The new style
It's like
sauna
us
set...
having air fryers.
Yes, exactly that. The new style sauna set are seeking the wholesome endorphin and dopamine rush caused by heat, maximised by alternating it with cold icy dips known as contrast bathing. This is a big part of the burgeoning British sauna culture, with more and more gyms including ice baths alongside sauna and steam. They're also becoming event hubs, with everything on offer from poetry readings to new mother meetings and grief saunas.
New mother meetings in a sauna.
Yup. I guess you sit and sweat and talk about your
Where's the
sore
baby?
boobs.
Baby's not in the sauna.
The baby would not be in the sauna.
And is that good for breast milk? To be that hot?
I'd say it's fine. You make a nice latte. No, I'd say
No, I'm
it's
serious.
fine.
To be that hot, that wouldn't do anything to the breast milk.
I think it would be very good if they were engorged or you had mastitis. I actually think it would be amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But when you have mastitis or they're engorged, you
Yeah.
put like very cold lettuce leaves on, cabbage leaves. So why would you need the heat?
Sometimes you need the heat to get things going. If you've got like a...
Oh, to move it
yeah,
around.
Yeah. So I actually think it would be great.
But where's the baby? The babies aren't in the sauna.
They might be with the other parent
Yeah.
or a caregiver.
Yeah.
Anywho, I'd just like to tell you, I did a bit of saunaing. I went to a Turkish hammam in Turkey. And I sat in the sauna.
Let's give it a little bit more perspective.
Yeah.
It was
I did it for
in
the show,
Turkey.
for this
You didn't do it
piece.
for the show.
I did it for this very segment.
So now you've said, this is
flew
what
to
you've just said.
Turkey.
You flew to Turkey,
Yeah.
you went to a Turkish hammam
Yeah,
for your research for the show.
that's right.
Actually, what happened was you took your son in half term to Club Med that happened to be in Turkey.
It did.
And it just so happened to have a hammam in Club Med.
two hammam
Was it an
spas.
authentic hammam spa?
Totally.
I love a hammam spa.
It really was authentic.
Listen, I'm only salty because I'm jealous.
There wasn't a big bare-breasted woman scrubbing you down in the central room. You know, there's like a big central room in Turkey. If you go to an authentic hammam, it's split between women and men. And there are women who work there and they just wear pants and they scrub you.
They don't wear a bra.
No, I
What
think
would Katie say about that?
Katie,
our bra
Katie
expert.
would have a lot to say about that. There wasn't anyone
What, so
in
their
there.
boobs are just
I think so.
there?
Yeah, I haven't actually been to one, but I've been
I would
told
find
by
that
someone who
very
has.
distracting.
But there were also, it was mixed, this hammam, so there were men in there. So I did my saunaing.
So you kept your boobs in.
I kept my bosom. I was given one of those funny, like, stripy towel things, and you're supposed to be naked underneath the hammam
Right.
towel. But I was like, no, mate.
Who takes their knickers off?
And also, like, there was men in there. It wasn't some women only. If it was some women only thing, I wouldn't really mind.
So did you keep your swimsuit on?
I kept my swimsuit on. And
Appropriate.
Yeah, I felt so. And I sat on the stripy hammam thing. And then I went to the icy plunge bath thing. It was really cold.
Did you get in?
Yeah, I did.
What, the whole part of you got in?
I-
The whole body, including shoulders, got in?
I did the shoulders because I knew if I came back and said, I only went in up to my thighs, you'd be like, you didn't do it properly. You've got to put your shoulders in.
You have got to put your shoulders in. And also, it's very good for your frozen shoulder.
Yeah. So I did do that. And I was like, ho, 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 ho.
You have to breathe.
Yeah, it was
Through it.
very cold.
Yeah.
And then I left because I was a bit bored.
Well, how long were you in there?
What, the plunge pool bit?
No.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
I don't know how to take my watch off. I'd say like
20 minutes?
half an hour-ish.
Yeah.
But, you know, it gets a bit
Also, if
boring.
you're not in there with someone, it does get boring.
Yeah, I was alone. Josh had binned me off for his mates.
Well, he wasn't going to go to a hammam spa. And
He
surely they're not
really
going to let
wasn't.
him in.
No, I think you have to be 18 anyway.
Because if I was sat there in the hammam spa and an 11-year-old comes in, I'm not best pleased. You know? It's like, keep the kids out.
Yeah.
I've become that person.
Yeah, I've totally become that person.
Well, you've still got a little one.
He's
Little-ish.
But when you're sitting, listen.
He's
when,
on the turn.
When we flew home from Turkey, and behind me was a 3-year-old who vomited the whole flight, and in front of me were 2 4-year-olds. I was like, I am over this. I'm long gone. Yeah. And also, you just remember back to those days of flying with toddlers and how hellish it is.
God, you just walk to the destination,
yeah.
up and down the
up
aisles.
and down the aisles, up and down, yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
Adam
not fun.
always sat separate of course, because he always would get the seat because there were 4 of us, so we would be in the 3.
Three.
He would be, and it was never even a discussion. Like, he would always sit on the end. It was like, oh, you're right there, and then he'd fall asleep, and I'd just nudge him the whole way.
My very favourite.
And now, sorry to interrupt. Now that they're older, he's like, do you want me to sit with kids? I was like, what does it make a difference? One's 16, one's 13.
They're on their phone listening to something or watching something.
Or they'll talk to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My favourite trip ever on a plane was we were flying to Spain with Max. He was about 6 months old, and I went and changed his nappy in the toilets, and he weed all over me. But I mean, drenched me. And then I had to sit for the rest of the flight in wee. Yeah, that was fun. Kids are great.
Yeah, aren't they?
Why bother?
My daughter the other day she asked me to do something, and I said, maybe you could do it because I've just had back surgery.
Yeah.
And her response was, well, you're still my mum.
I mean, that is factually correct. Back surgery or not, you are still her mother.
And I just thought, I think that sums up motherhood.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what's happened. Even if I had a limb hanging off,
Doesn't matter.
I am still her mum first, and her needs come first.
Of course.
Even if she is perfectly capable of seeing to it herself.
Doesn't matter.
No.
You are still...
I'm still my mum. You're still my mum.
I mainly took the role on holiday of Sherpa. So I would just be handed a tennis bag, and then he would say to me, I'm going off to the kids' pool with my mates, or I'm going to the bar with my mates, or I'm going here with my mates. And he would just hand me his tennis bag and leave his sliders by the pool, and I would just carry his stuff around.
Well, I always say to my kids, I'm either a hanger or I'm a dustbin.
Oh, yes. I love that when they screw something up and just put it in your hand.
Yeah.
Piece of rubbish.
Or they just give you their coat. They just throw it over you. So it's either a hanger or a dustbin.
Talking of babies,
yes.
There's a new wellness trend out there.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to like it.
Okay.
It's crawling.
Oh, for God's sake.
Releasing your inner baby with this hot new workout.
I definitely couldn't do it at the moment.
Definitely not. But even if you could, would you want to?
Crawling.
Crawling.
Is it supposed to be good for you?
Apparently.
How?
I don't know. I decided not to deep dive into it.
Why?
Because...
We should do a week of crawling.
Why?
Because it's funny. And that's what we do.
Well, you can't.
I
for the time being.
definitely can't at the moment.
No.
Maybe I could.
Let's not push it. You know what I mean?
It's a very creaky mic stand.
Yeah.
What is the benefit of crawling?
It just is about releasing your inner baby.
Oh, that's it.
I think
Well, can't you just sit in a fetal position and be done with it?
and cry?
I mean, I do that regularly.
rock on your back whilst
But
crying.
I don't really consider it self-care. It's more like a
Neither do
nervous
I.
breakdown. I would say that falls much more into the menopausal phase of life.
Rather than the baby phase. So true. It's so true. I'll tell you a trend that you could do though now, if you wanted to.
Okay.
It's a new TikTok trend.
Does it involve lying down and watching Bridgerton?
Sadly not. It involves cottage cheese.
Oh no.
What are your feelings on cottage cheese?
Obviously, how well do you know me? Firstly, you've just put your life on the fact that I am not a member of the Sauna Society, which, by the way, we still haven't clarified. Maybe I'll wait till the end of the show
To
just
reveal
for a
it.
little bit of mystery.
Okay, yeah. Hang on. I know you hate cheese, but you do eat halloumi, and that's cheese. And so cottage cheese...
But halloumi doesn't taste like cheese.
Well,
It doesn't.
as someone who eats every
it's
cheese...
just salty.
But cottage cheese also doesn't taste like cheese. It tastes like yogurt that's been thrown up by someone.
That sounds disgusting.
Lumpy yogurt.
Do you know what?
It's not cheesy, really.
I've never, ever tried cottage cheese.
What? I can't believe that. Because, like, for women who like to look after their weight and health, cottage cheese is like the number one food.
And yet again, going back to the library card, we have another very dated reference in your head.
Back. It's back.
But it wasn't until just
Now.
this very minute.
My-
Because my mum
yeah,
used to live
yeah.
on cottage cheese
Yep.
when she was on a diet.
Which kind?
I
Say
don't-
it. Same kind as Jackie. Small chunks of pineapple in a tub.
It sounds disgusting, but what I'm saying is
Yeah.
there have been other foods
Yeah.
since cottage cheese
Yeah.
that women eat to look after themselves.
But I felt like it never went away.
It did, Lauren.
I mean,
you're going to tell me you wear pop socks in a minute, aren't you?
I don't wear fucking pop socks. Fuck off. But I do remember
pop socks, library cards, cottage cheese.
the whole of the 80s.
She's still working out to Jane Fonda.
Yeah. My mother regularly had a small pot of cottage cheese with chopped pineapple in it. Often was her lunch. But anyway, it's back.
That was her lunch, just that.
Yeah, she fucking loved it. Oh, and some Rivita.
Oh, it was always cottage cheese on Rivita.
That was big for her in the 80s.
Maybe I should get some cottage cheese so it doesn't taste like cheese.
To me, it's not very cheesy.
It's yogurty.
It's like lumpy yogurt.
Is it sour?
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
It's like lumpy Greek yogurt.
Why don't you just have the Greek yogurt? But you eat it as a savoury snack, not a sweet
not
snack.
Sweet.
So like the yogurt to me is a sweet snack.
Yeah, it's not sweet. It's all about the protein.
Yeah, I know it's good protein. So you could effectively put like cucumber on top of it.
Yeah, it's exactly what
but
you
wouldn't
would
do that with yogurt is what I'm saying.
Or sliced tomatoes. Classic. That's the thing. So TikTok creators are finding what
you see Jack is throwing me with the pineapple.
Yeah.
Because that would suggest
it's sweet, but it's not.
Savoury and sweet.
Yeah, I agree. But that's a bit like pizza. Hawaiian.
It's wrong.
Yeah. But this is a TikTok thing. They are taking cottage cheese and they are baking it in the oven. That I don't get. And they're also making like
and then what
wraps out of it and things. They're doing some weird shit with cottage cheese. It's a big TikTok thing. Have a look. I mean, I don't want to take any cooking tips from it because it looks revolting. But
what
it's a
happens
thing.
to the cottage cheese? Because I'm just thinking, like, what would happen if you put it in the oven? Don't you just like
no,
goes crusty on top?
They're blending it with stuff, and then they're making like
what?
cottage cheese wraps.
It sounds fucking gross.
Foul. It looks foul. If I'm going to eat it, I'll eat it plain, but I'd rather not eat it at all.
Right, okay. I'd rather just some tuna and be done with it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
In a wrap.
You could probably have cottage cheese and tuna. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I might look into this a little bit more.
Well, you let me know.
Why
don't you ask Jackie? She'll know. She'll know what the latest is with cottage cheese.
She's never baked it as far as I'm aware.
You don't know. You don't know. She could be very up on the cottage cheese trend.
I'll speak to Jackie later.
Does she still eat cottage cheese?
Probably. I don't really have lunch with Jackie anymore.
My mum doesn't eat cottage cheese anymore. She hasn't for years. No. I do remember it as a kid.
Yeah, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
So let's go to a break. And then
can I just ask a question before we go to a break?
Yeah.
What do you think our kids, not yours, my kids will think is like the cottage cheese of our childhood? I reckon it'd be like quinoa or something.
The cottage cheese of our childhood.
For them.
What, according to what we eat or according to just the general people eat?
I grew up watching my mum eat cottage cheese.
Yeah.
What do you think my kids will say in years to come that
chicken. My mum ate a lot of chicken. Definitely with you, chicken.
No, but like
even my dog associates you with chicken.
No, you associate me because he doesn't actually tell you that.
He does.
Because you call me
fluent English.
You call me the chicken lady.
Yeah,
he doesn't. Just so you know,
in his mind.
So now you think that he calls me the chicken lady, but he doesn't.
I think in his mind he trots into your house and he looks at you and he goes, "Oh, good, the chicken lady."
I know.
Yeah,
that's an assumption. Let's cut to a break. We'll come back. What are we coming back with?
The answer, by the way, my kids would say Marmite toast. Mummy eats Marmite toast. That's what they'd say for me.
I've never seen you eat Marmite toast ever.
I eat it a lot.
You can't eat it a lot because I'm with you every day and I've never seen you eat it. So how often can you eat it? You must only eat it for breakfast.
I don't eat breakfast.
So when do you eat it? You're not
going
to eat it for dinner. You don't eat it for lunch because I'm with you 4 days a week.
If you weren't with me, I would eat it for lunch.
Would you?
Yeah. Or I eat cheese and crackers standing up, but I can't have cheese because you
could do what you fucking want. I don't care if you eat cheese. I just won't
give
eat
you the cheese, can I?
No, you can't eat.
We've got cheese issues. Anyway, let's go to a break. Interrupting this episode very quickly to let you know about our book.
It's called Have You Tried This? And it's out now.
It's a one-stop shop to self-care, and it features only the very best of what Nicole and I have learned in 4 years of being in the trenches of the wellness world.
And it has loads of new practices written just for the book. And the best thing,
not one practice in the book will cost you a penny. But every practice in the book is going to help improve your mental health and your well-being.
It's out now and the link is in our show notes.
This episode is brought to you by Notion.
Have you ever stumbled upon a tool that feels like it's been tailor-made for you? Well, that's exactly how we feel about Notion. Simply and beautifully designed with all your notes and docs in one place and the power of AI built inside. It's where every idea, task and episode comes to life effortlessly.
Notion merges creativity with productivity seamlessly. Whether we're planning out our episode schedule, collabing on show notes or tracking guest invitations, it's perfect for those who may be becoming a little forgetful in midlife.
Hey, just the other day we used it to map out an entire season of our podcast in record time, and that's why Notion has become an indispensable part of our podcasting toolkit. It even wrote this intro for us.
Notion is more than just a workspace, it's our secret weapon for success in the digital age. Notion is a place where any team can write, plan, organise and rediscover the joy of play. It's a workspace designed not just for making progress, but getting inspired.
Notion is for everyone, CEOs, students and Lauren. If she can manage to navigate it, anyone can.
Try Notion for free when you go to notion.com/selfcareclub.
That's all lowercase letters, notion.com/selfcareclub, and start turning ideas into action. And when you use our link, you're supporting our show.
Notion.com/selfcareclub.
You're a podcast listener, and this is a podcast ad. Reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Lips and Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a reproduced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience with Lips and Ads. Go to lipsandads.com now. That's LIBSYN ads.com.
Do you want to know the answer to the Sauna Society, or?
I do.
Mika and I, I'm just telling you now, we've decided. It happened whilst you were away, because Mika's the chairman of the Sauna Society.
That's right. Yeah.
And he does live in Finland. So we've had a few Zooms.
Yeah.
And we have decided
Yeah.
that we're going to start a podcast about saunas.
What's it called?
It's called the Sauna Society.
I already don't like the name.
We're co-hosting.
Yeah.
Why don't you like the name?
Because it's really unoriginal.
Well, it is what it is. So if someone says, "Oh, I've got a podcast. What's it called? The Sauna Society." You're going to know what it's about, right?
I bet a sauna podcast already exists. I remember
Well, we're going to give them a run for their money, me and Mika.
I met a woman on New Year's Eve who's written a whole book about saunas. She went and photographed every sauna in Europe and tried them out.
Every sauna in Europe.
Hundreds of them.
Not every sauna in Europe.
Well, it's like her life's work.
She went to every sauna in Europe.
I didn't sit down and quiz her over the mojitos. Every sauna? Was it every sauna? Did you miss one out?
Did you go to every
In
David
Portugal?
Lloyd's? Did you go to every?
No, in Europe, and then they're all photographed. It's like a photographic book. And I said, that is niche.
But it's got to be every different
Every
kind of
yeah.
sauna.
I said,
Not
that is
every
niche.
sauna.
But she was like, it's very popular in Europe. I thought,
Yeah, but how many books did she sell?
I didn't ask her that.
Did
'cause
you
that
read
would
the
have been
book?
rude.
How many times do you get asked, how many books have you sold? Because I get asked it a lot.
I don't get asked that question. I get asked, how's the book going? I don't get asked how many particular copies have you sold?
I have been asked that a lot.
What do you say? 1 million?
I'd say I don't know.
2.5 million is the answer.
I say I don't know, because that is the truth.
The truth is, it's as true that we've sold 2.5 million as it is that you're a member of the British Sauna Society.
You're betting your life on that.
Yeah. And my kids.
Listen,
Yeah.
to be honest with you,
Yeah.
we don't know how many books we've sold.
I feel like if we had sold 2.5 million, we might have been told. Maybe not, but probably.
Well, it's now being sold in Arabic.
Yes, it's being sold in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. My son's other girlfriend is now currently reading the book. I was informed yesterday.
Lena.
Yes.
I don't even remember what's in the book.
Well, Max said to me, Lena's reading your book. I said, oh, it's taken her long enough. Gave it to her in February. He said, she's read the chapter on vabbing. I was like, oh,
of course she
my God,
has.
of course she has. And she's read the chapter on body confidence and spending more time naked. I was like, great. The two things that I don't particularly want my son's girlfriend to be reading about me are the two chapters that she started with. And he said, you know what, Mum? I feel great about being naked. I go to sleep naked. I make my coffee naked. I walk around naked. I feel very confident in my body. I was like, that is wonderful, Max. But also, you're a 20-year-old boy, so I would expect you to feel happy and confident in your young, healthy, good body.
Yeah, because if he doesn't feel good naked now,
He ain't never gonna.
mate.
Mate, wait till you're 55.
Yeah, basically. Okay, anything else
Yes.
on the wellness circuit?
Yes, I want to tell you what's going up.
Okay.
And I genuinely think you might like this.
More than the cottage cheese and the crawling?
Definitely more than those two things. This is something you could get into. Mood matching manicures. Aura nails.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh, I have my nails done tomorrow.
It is a well, ask your manicurist, right? It isn't that you. Aura nails are the manicure bringing fresh energy by matching your nail colour with your electromagnetic field.
But how do you know what colour that is?
They know.
Who knows?
The technician.
Is it, because you remember you used to have those mood rings?
It's like that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly like that.
So the polish doesn't change colour with your mood?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
That'll be the next thing, though.
It looks like a seamlessly blended medley of 2 or more shades. So it looks like, imagine like a kind of dark.
Like an ombre?
Yes, but like dark in the middle and then kind of blending out to a paler colour from the middle.
I reckon my manicurist is all over this.
Okay, it's offered by cult salons like Nuka Nails and Selfish in London. But please get it done tomorrow if she knows about it.
If she knows about it.
Yeah, I bet she does.
But she's very cool, my manicurist.
She's on top of everything, so
Yeah.
I bet she knows about this.
Well, I shall ask her.
Okay, 2 more things that are going
Shall I
up.
text her and see?
Yeah, go on. 2 more things that are going up in the wellness world. Ready for it? Remember goat yoga?
I do remember goat yoga. There is a fly in
It's
here.
very annoying. Remember puppy yoga?
I do. You're
Well,
talking
now-
to me as if I've lost my mind.
Well, now.
Do you remember your name? Nicole.
Oh,
Well done.
Okay, well, now there's piglet yoga. Yoga with baby pigs.
Don't they stink?
Oh, I think they'd be really cute.
I'm not going.
I'd like to go.
Well, go on then.
Okay. And the
But,
other...
they'll be smelly.
No, why would they be more smelly than the goats? And by the way,
The goats were a bit smelly.
puppies stink. No one talks about this, but it is a truth. It is a universal truth.
They do stink.
They stink.
I remember when I first got Miley,
Yeah.
I called up my friend
Yeah.
and I said to her, the dog stinks. She said, yeah, they come home really stinking. I said, I can't bond with her. She goes, I'm coming round with some Aesop dog shampoo. Stay there. She came around 20 minutes later. We washed her in Aesop. The bonding began.
But she smelled fucking amazing
She did.
after that.
She did. And I've loved her since.
£30 bottle of dog shampoo.
Yeah, I never bought it.
When we picked up Sadie, my sister-in-law's puppy, I carried her home in the car. She stank. And the breeder was like, don't, you mustn't wash her for 10 days. And my sister-in-law was like, fuck that. I'm washing her. Because they're all with their litter and they wee on each other.
And
they
also,
poo on
I
each
think they
other.
need to get the smell of the house so that you can all bond with her well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, Barker was living outside in kennels. He was a smelly puppy.
But exactly, they've
smelly.
got wee and all sorts of shit all over them.
sorts. Yeah, but they look cute.
Oh, delicious.
Tell you what else is going up. Tell me what you think of this. Party favour tattoos, i.e., you go to an amazing party and instead of getting given a going home bag with the chipper chips and some stickers, there is a tattooist. And you
Yeah,
get
but
a
this
party
is an
favour.
adult party.
Yes, you get a party favour.
I actually
tattoo.
saw this on, was it Vanderpump Rules or The Valley or something utterly
Okay,
shit that I've watched.
sounds like that's. The
They
sort
all
of thing
came
they
away
would
with a
do.
tattoo and I thought, that's a good idea.
Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, only if you want one.
I mean, yeah. I haven't heard of this before.
I actually think I'm ready for my tattoo now. And I know you said to me a few months ago, by the way, we're nearly ready for tattoos, you said, out the blue.
You said, I will never get one and I'm never getting one and I won't.
Well, no, because I figured out what I'm going to get.
Oh my God. How has this change of heart come about?
I've had a lot of time lying around on my back with not a lot to do.
too much time.
And you haven't been here. So this is your fault.
I've been in the hammam.
You've been busy. You've been busy.
Busy
in the
carrying a tennis bag. I carried a watermelon. It's been like that. I said to you ages ago, I might get a tattoo. We should get tattoos for the show.
No, you didn't say we should get a tattoo. You said, I think we're nearly ready for our tattoos. Like this
But
assumption
before
that we're doing it together.
Before that, I said I might get one. You were like, I'm never getting one. I'm not, ever. And my husband has had this diatribe for years. If you get a tattoo, I will divorce you.
Yeah, but he's not going to divorce you.
No,
is
and
he?
I think it's a little bit strict also.
He's not going to throw away a 25-year marriage for one tattoo.
And then on the weekend, we were talking about tattoos, and he said, I actually quite like tattoos. I said, sorry?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
The man who says he would divorce me if I ever got a tattoo, hence why I haven't had one ever in my life. What's this about? Well, you know, I don't like sleeves, but I think they can actually be quite attractive. And I was like, right, where have you been and who have you seen who's got a tattoo that you find attractive? Because this is definitely specific. This is definitely like you've seen some waitress somewhere in one of your many morning coffees who's very attractive, who happens to have a few tattoos, and now you associate it with like...
An attractive woman.
Yeah.
And?
Oh, he got very defensive about it. I see women everywhere with tattoos. Everywhere. I said, where do you see them? Because it's been cold for 7 months. So most women are wearing jumpers. So unless it's on their face, where are you seeing these women with their attractive tattoos? Spill it. And I want to know now. Sometimes they have them behind their ear. I'm like, what are you?
They do.
What are you doing looking behind women's ears?
Do. Well, they do. Well, if they've got their hair up.
You know what? I need to delve into this a little bit more because the man's done a 180.
Where would you have a tattoo and what would you have?
Me?
Yeah.
I would have only one thing. I would have an evil eye, which I've already designed,
yes.
and I know exactly what it would look like. And it would be on the inside of my right wrist, and I know precisely the design, and it would save me from having to constantly cover my body. And
Why do you always feel the need to cover yourself in evil eyes?
It's protection from the evil eye.
Okay. Does it help? Do you think it helps?
Definitely.
Do you?
For sure. What would you have? Now you've designed it.
I have.
Okay.
I'd also have it in my inside of my wrist.
Yeah.
I was thinking my left wrist.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay.
And I would have a daisy after my daughter.
Yeah.
And a lily after my other daughter.
And a rose.
Well, I said a lily and a rose, but then my best friend Donna, who's a child therapist, she said you can't have two and one for Daisy.
No, what you would have is you'd have a daisy that was a little bit bigger, and then you get them to entwine a lily and a rose that was the same size together as the one daisy. So like two flowers entwined. But if they're the same size, I think it's fine. Know what I mean?
I will ask her.
Like on the same stem. Ask her if that would psychologically damage the second child.
Because I just figure, like, I'll never get bored of that because I'm always going to love my kids. I'm always going to have my kids.
Yeah.
So that's
So
not
true.
something I would ever regret.
Yeah, it's so true.
And a daisy and a lily and a rose, they're pretty.
Agreed. I would also consider having a very small robin. Tiny little one. Just an outline with a bit of a red breast.
Oh, a nice outline. That's a good idea.
Yeah, just the outline.
Maybe I want an evil eye now.
Okay, I think if you and I are getting matching tattoos, there may be issues.
On our nipples. Do you think our husbands would even fucking notice?
No.
Can I tell you some TV stuff?
Yeah, man.
Because
tell
for
me.
the first time in forever,
Yeah.
I have watched a lot more TV than you because I have had a lot more time.
I've watched no TV for a week.
Well, I have not stopped watching TV.
Yeah.
I have binged
Yeah.
the entire lot of Bridgerton.
Can I just say on Friday's show, you say, I've only watched the first episode of Bridgerton, and now you've done all 3 seasons.
Yeah.
That's how much time you've had.
Yeah.
Favourite season?
But to be honest, on Friday's show, we recorded... Oh, no, it wasn't that long ago. I had the operation,
It
hadn't
really
I?
wasn't that long ago.
All 3 seasons. Well,
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second half of the third season because I haven't dropped it yet.
It's not out yet. So favourite season and favourite character, please.
Season 1.
Yep.
Favourite character?
Yeah.
I do love Penelope.
Yep.
I mean, obviously the Duke, but for very different reasons.
Yeah.
Because there aren't any words I couldn't.
There are no words for the Duke. No words.
I can't even get my words out.
Yeah.
I can't cope with the Duke.
No one could cope with the Duke.
How can anyone cope with the Duke? And all I thought was, and he's in season 1 if you haven't seen Bridgerton, this woman who rocks up to work every day and all she has to do is lie on top of him. It's like, what a job.
Yeah.
I would lie on top of him and get... I mean, he was... I have never seen a better looking man in my entire life.
I do remember when it came out, it was lockdown. And I do remember watching a good chunk of that series one evening and then just going straight upstairs and taking all my clothes off. And that was it. It was a great night. It was a very inspirational series.
It does help you get your mojo back, but not when you're laid out on your back from a back operation. And I did keep saying to Adam, I kept saying, I really want to have sex, but I really can't. He's like, is it that good? I'm like, yes, it's that good.
It really is. It's. I found it very inspirational.
It is, but not when you've had surgery.
No,
it wasn't helpful, and now he's gone away.
Yeah,
so it's really not helpful.
No.
So there was that. So I think I do love Penelope. I like Eloise. I think she's amazing.
Yeah.
But she's, a modern day feminist.
Very much
who's
so.
fighting against the system.
Yeah.
I would have been Eloise.
Would you?
Yeah.
I would have been Cressida.
No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have.
I like in season 3 how they've done Cressida's outfits to reflect like how she's trapped. She had that cage necklace thing and all her clothes are very constricting because of her constricted life.
And her hairdos.
She's great, Cressida. She's a great character.
Well, she's okay, but she only really comes into herself more in season 3.
Yeah, but her story development has been great. Really enjoyed her.
But all of the story developments have been great. And I'm now watching Queen Charlotte, which is amazing because you get a much better idea of Queen Charlotte and Lady Danbury.
Yeah.
You get the background.
Yeah.
And that's been amazing. So I cannot recommend this enough.
Are you watching anything else apart from Bridgerton?
No, I've been very busy. Oh, I watched the Amy Winehouse film.
How was that?
It was very average.
Yeah, I wasn't. I just didn't look great, and her voice didn't sound.
It wasn't her. It was the actress. They didn't use
I know.
Amy's voice.
But they should have used Amy's voice.
And also, it's such an interesting story, which everybody knows. But I just feel the pieces that they decided to focus on, they weren't very well developed because it was more on her relationship with Blake and why she loved him so much and sort of the heartbreak and how she just couldn't get past it. But I don't know. It just didn't. The story didn't develop well.
Okay.
You felt a bit like, was that it?
Oh, I'm giving that a miss.
I really would. And it's such a good story.
Yeah, it's an amazing and tragic story because what a talent she was.
But they didn't really go into her rise to fame. It was all based around her relationship with Blake, basically.
It was like a romance.
Yeah.
Ish.
But you understood why she loved him so much and why she was so heartbroken, why she couldn't get over it. But you didn't really... The rest of it just fell very flat.
Shame.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any TV while I was away, but I read a great book and I'm going to lend it to you for your holiday. It is called Romantic Comedy and it is by Curtis Sittingfeld and I love her books. She wrote Prep, she wrote Sisterland.
I haven't read any of her books.
I love all her books. This one it's very different from her other books, but great. And it is about a scriptwriter in LA who writes for the equivalent of SNL. And it's a kind of will she, won't she with a mega, mega, mega music star who comes as a guest on the show.
Okay, that sounds like perfect holiday read.
It was the perfect holiday read.
Okay, I'll really look forward to that.
Yeah.
Great. What have we got coming up on next week's show?
Well, we have to practice what we preach. And so what we've both been doing for very different reasons is...
Resting.
Lauren
phoned me from holiday. She's like, what are we going to do on Monday's show? I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do exactly what we've been doing all week, which is talking about rest.
Keep it authentic.
Because it's a very tricky, difficult, weird subject and everyone has their own relationship with rest.
Some better than others.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm going to enjoy putting Nicole under the microscope on Monday.
We'll be back then, clubbers. If you want to be in touch, hello@theselfcareclub.co.uk. Come follow us on our socials. All of our links are below in our show notes. Just scroll up if you want to find us anywhere and if you want to purchase our book. And we will be back on Monday.
Bye-bye.
The Motherkind podcast explores how to feel happier, more confident and empowered in your motherhood, even in our world of pressure, judgment and comparison. I'm your host, Zoe Blaskey, and every week I speak to an incredible expert to share actionable steps and powerful lessons to living your life as a mother with more joy and unapologetic confidence. Listen wherever you get your podcasts, just search Motherkind.
Hello, it's Mr. P here.
And the other Mr. P.
And we are the hosts of Two Mr. P's in a Podcast.
The educational podcast where you don't actually learn a thing.
No, instead we explore the weird, wonderful and downright hilarious things that happen in school from people actually doing the job. We reminisce on our own time at school, funny things we experience each day. And of course, we share your hilarious stories from the chalk face. So if you work in a school or just want a nostalgic trip down memory lane, sit up straight, fingers on lips, and get ready for the lesson.